It's fine. Thanks. This meeting will be called to order. Mr. Roach, will you lead us in the pledge of flag? Beyond.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. First thing on the agenda is the levy rates. To approve fiscal year 2011-2012 levy rates for the general current expense fund, regular levy and excess levy in compliance with statutory requirements, 11-8-9 and 11-8-12, subject to the approval of the State Board of Education, the State Tax Commissioner, and publication made per state code.
I move. I'll second.
Motion's been made. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next thing is the action suspended until April 19, 2011 at 6 p.m. at the county office.
I'll second.
Motion's been made. Is there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next thing is the approval of the March 7, 2011 regular minutes and the March 14, 2011 special meeting.
I move.
We have a motion to, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next thing is public comments. Mr. Larry Lim.
Thank you. I'm here this evening to, I've been harassed, and I want each of you to know that. And I hope before I leave this evening that the situation will be taken care of and I'll be harassed no more. But I'd like to give you a short history, if I might. About a year ago, I went to the post office to mail some letters, run into an individual out there, and we discussed some things. We solved maybe some world problems and state problems and county problems and city problems. But we got on, somewhere we got on cookies, Girl Scout cookies. And the individual said, you know, those Thin Mints I really love. He says, I believe, I may stand corrected on this, but I believe I could sit down with a cold glass of milk and I could eat a whole box. So I said, I can take care of that. My granddaughter lives in Beckley, and I can get you some Thin Mint cookies. Fine, all said and done. Cookies came to my house. They were there for a while, and whatever reason, I couldn't get the cookies to the individual, but they were at my house. So a while later, well, a good while later really, well, the individual said he was knocked on my back door. I won't disagree with him whether he did or he didn't. But anyway, he didn't get his cookies at that particular time, but they were at my house. So sometime later, he was walking down Walnut Street, and I happened to be outside, but he was campaigning. So I talked to the person, the individual, and offered him his cookies. They were in my house. No, I don't need them right now. I'll pick them up later. Well, I got to thinking after he was going on down the street, well, maybe the individual did, maybe he was broke and he didn't have the money. Or if he got the Girl Scout cookies and he was campaigning, knocked on the door, they might have thought he was selling cookies. So I don't know, but whether that be the case or not. But anyway, then it was a while later, my daughter come in from Beckley again, and her granddaughter, and the cookies were in the refrigerator. They were eaten by my daughter, who delivered them down there a while ago. So the individual didn't get his cookies. So like I say, I want to end the harassment on my part. So, but if there's anyone in here that would care to respond to that, feel free to do so. If not, forever hold your peace.
Mr. Limble, you should have waited a little while with this new bullying law went in.
Sorry I didn't know about it. But if not, Mr. Roach, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Martin, Mr. Curry, at this time, I want you to witness what I'm about to do. I want you to witness. This is last year's cookies. I want to present it to Mr. Priestley.
Thank you, Mr. Lincoln.
Got it now. And this is this year's. So,
It's not often I'm at a loss for words, but I will not harass you anymore.
okay, thank you.
It's on video.
It's silly.
Thank you, Joe. I'll just keep those hidden from Michelle, I'll be all right.
I thought you were gonna open them up now, Steve.
I've waited a year and a half for these
We
good.
got milk back there.
Tommy, I'll get you what it is.
You was right, they were your cookies.
Presentations.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'd like to have Ms. Lucas.
Stand somewhere so everybody can see me. So I can see everyone else. I'd like to say a few words before we do the presentation. The National Board for Professional Teaching Standards developed standards for accomplished teaching. National Board for Professional Teaching Standards are based on 5 core propositions that form the foundation for what all accomplished teachers should know and be able to do. Those 5 core propositions are: teachers are committed to students and their learning. Teachers know the subjects they teach and how to teach those subjects to students. Teachers are responsible for managing and monitoring student learning. Teachers think systematically about their practice and learn from experience. Teachers are members of learning communities. Teachers who achieve National Board certification have met rigorous standards through intensive study, expert evaluation, self-assessment, and peer review. National Board certification is an advanced teaching credential. It complements a state teacher's license. National Board certified teachers not only have to prove they know their subject matter, but they also must provide evidence they know how to effectively teach their subjects to students. National Board certified teachers know how to bridge the gap between what students learn today and what they need to know to be successful in the 21st century. Teachers who receive the national certification are clearly among America's best. It's my honor and pleasure to introduce and recognize our own National Board certified teachers. At this time, our superintendent, Mr. Roach, is going to present a small token of our appreciation for what you do every day for our students in Lincoln County schools. I'd like to have Mr. Roach first present to Ms. Lori Huffman, who is a second grade teacher at Hamlin Elementary. Next, Miss Beth Ann Joyce, who is an English teacher at Lincoln County High School.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
Mama's gonna get this, I waited a long time.
Did you get the picture all right?
No.
Come on back up.
Better get
This is too big of a,
Too big of a deal.
yeah, this is important.
Yes,
This
it
actually
is.
happened.
And we're expecting a little grandson too. We're thrilled to death. 13 years.
Next, Miss Jenny McClung, who's our literacy coach at Duval, pre-KA. Next is Miss Carolyn Topping, who is a math teacher at Harts Intermediate.
I know it takes a lot of work. We're very appreciative of the honorees tonight, and I also want to thank all the folks that came tonight to show their appreciation and support for our fine teachers, and thank all the people that supported these folks for all the work and things that you had to do while they were so busy trying to get all the work done. But thank you all, and it's an honor and a privilege to have you all amongst several now of our National Board Certified Teachers. So congratulations to all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is it possible for our honorees to come up so we can have a picture of the four together? Yes, yes, bring the flags up front.
So that all two of us can pray at the same time.
Try. Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Thank you.
Thanks to the principals and the curriculum team, any and all the people that are here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Yeah, there's all American. Carry on. Thank you.
Oh, yes, okay, you make sure that it's a GPA or B. Now we can go straight out and we can move you bit. Happy birthday. Well, no, I sure like to do it. I mean, taxes. Anyway, oh, the sweet valley education. Thank you. You made us still funny? Yeah.
Miss Frazier,
She's not here.
she's not, chose not to come.
I haven't heard from her. Since the day she called.
That's Pete Byers, that's his, her mother.
That's Jenny.
Jeannie's mother.
Not Jenny. That's,
That's
Joyce.
Beth Ann Joyce.
That's Miss
who,
Joyce.
her last, she just told me her name was Kay Shepherd.
Beth Joyce's.
Oh,
Is that-
She's one taking the picture.
yeah.
And Beth Ann's husband's a state policeman who's standing out there.
Oh, that's who that was.
I asked her, I think it was her hit
I couldn't see, I couldn't see the
That's
husband.
a husband.
Okay, now I see that it's state police. I couldn't tell. All I could see was part of his
She
hand.
thought it was the same guy that's speaking, but that's not the name of the trip.
Yeah, he's having
And I
fun.
think he's after you.
Her mother.
We've already had this kid.
Just never waits like you. That's right.
How long was it taking you to think it? He
Hey,
was in church Sunday.
Are you saying that was Pete Byers' wife is known as Miss Shepherd?
I don't know her name.
Oh, it's Mrs. Byers.
All I know is.
That's Pete Byers and his wife were right there taking pictures. That's Beth Ann Joyce's father and mother.
All-American golfer.
The All-American, MAC All-American.
All I know is that she came up and told me that she, and maybe she's remarried, that she and her husband, Kay and Dick Shepherd, were friends of my in-laws and were at Spring Valley Country Club years ago together.
Well, Dick Shepherd was also.
Maybe they,
a golfer.
he could
They
have.
said two separate
They
families.
all play golf.
Yes.
But
I mean, I
they
don't
all
know- I
belong to
didn't
the
know that.
country club, that's what you do.
And I didn't belong to the country club. They were great golfers.
Dick Shepherd, they.
Oh, absolutely.
They wanted me to tell my father-in-law, because he played golf for like 80 years.
80.
I'm serious. He's 94 years old, he just quit playing here 3 or 4 years ago.
Ready.
Competitive golf, let's do it. I can't talk about it, let's go. I'm just aggravated. Go ahead.
Tonight's like pick on me night.
But you like
Yeah.
scoot your chair up like.
Uh,
We're
If
gonna
Miss-
promote you guys. Be
If,
ashamed.
if Miss Frazier,
Too low?
yes, if Miss Frazier comes, maybe we could ask her. It's very positive and she wanted to, so I don't know what happened to her. But you want me to go on with administrative?
Let's do it.
Okay, administrative, following adult students to ride the school bus, school volunteers, which we've gone over many times, out-of-county transfer, Shayla Owens, you know that's an observation, Jessica Thompson, form an observation, Stonewall Resorts, this is with Harts Intermediate. It is this year's fund is recommended by the state school support team is on schools of improvement and SIG grants, and they said this would be great for the transition to the new school. They're trying to come together, and we all support that. G is these students are going to Sandusky, yes, and it is all those that, even if they can't afford to go, will be going if they meet this criteria. So it's not something where we discriminate against, students without money. H is a trip to Kings Island, also, as you can see, paid by the group.
And what's that for? Do we know? It's just some kind of
It's a reward for West Test attendance.
same thing?
Isn't that the Science Day?
I
Yeah.
think that's math and science.
Math and
Yes.
Science Day.
And
That's good.
so hopefully the West Test, but if they do not, if they miss and have to make it up, they do not get to go, unfortunately, because the West Test is priority one. Contract with David Roberts. In the last meeting, I think we had him on the agenda at the last meeting. And so
Very same thing.
he is going to
Gear up. That was good.
finish the grant, which there's work to do, and it's in the money administratively to do that, so we need that help. Out-of-state travel, I want to add a name here that wasn't on the original agenda, it's on yours now, is Merlene Stratton. On J, it should be there now.
Go.
On K, that's added. It's very important because we want to have the auction April the 1st. And in order to do that, we must have it on the agenda, so that was added. But this is normally done when we have things in excess that we need to get rid of.
Well, it's not April 4th,
No, sir, but that was mentioned. That was mentioned.
Are we allowed to bid on those items?
I would have to check. As a board member, you know, they say either way, you don't have a board member if you're out there as an individual, so I don't see why not, but I will check to make sure we're.
I could use that international bus. All my kids. It's number 960. I think that's what I'm gonna go
Trailer for my T-Rex.
I will check, okay? And then, that is it. So now we're down to finance, but first we need a motion.
Yeah, we need to get one. We have a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
And Ms. Gaines.
Ms. Gandy.
Okay, finance, we have invoices, $1,797,659.52. And for those of you that don't know, Trish, who does accounts payable, has been off sick in the hospital and really not sure that she'll be back. She already planned on retiring June the 30th. So she's doing okay. She's out in the hospital now. We do have Cindy, who has helped us get through Trina's illness. So Cindy's still with us doing, picking up Trish's job now. And so just a little update for you guys. Item B is the final payments on the Brumfield and Dingus properties.
And that's the balance,
This
correct?
is the balance.
Does that include the interest?
No,
So what we will do, we will have on the agenda again, including the interest, but at least we could get this paid. Or if y'all made a motion on this one, to make sure we added the interest when it's paid, I think would be permissible. So we could get it done. And we'll come back, or would you rather wait?
Well, I'd like to act on this, at least stop the bleeding. I just,
Well, it's 10%.
yeah.
I move we add the interest, the interest we added.
You wanna do that to him?
Anytime you.
Just put plus interest.
Okay.
So they're gonna go.
That way-
That motion needs to be,
Fred, second.
Motion has been made to add the interest to the Brumfield and Dingus payments.
Yeah.
There was a motion and a second by Mr. Curry. All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
That's the end of that now. There's no more appeals.
Those two.
Okay, for those two. Yeah.
Correct.
Of those two.
Yeah. All right. We need to make a motion for the, for A, for finance A.
Could I ask a quick question here? Back in our agenda here items, I'm not sure if this is finance, there's a little chart of something.
Yeah, that's, Darlene had put that together. That's just what she was accumulating, the total bills for Brenda.
Okay, that's where you got the amount that you initially said, right? Okay, I just didn't understand that.
Well, and that's, like I said, that's what Darlene has been trying to help out Cindy.
She has all the invoices right
Yeah.
there, I
Okay.
guess.
That's just a
I just didn't
little spreadsheet
understand what the
she
chart
did.
was. Okay,
Well, that was just Darlene's way, trying
that's fine.
to be organized.
All right, I'll make a motion to pay the scheduled invoices totaling, let's see, that's $1,797,659.52.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to personnel.
Okay. I'd like for you, excuse me, I have a cough. Just look through each of the sections if you would, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them if I can, or get back with you with the answer.
There was one person that had the only change in that personnel schedule, that the first one you got was the one name for a leave of absence. The first one you had two names, this one only has one. The one with one is the approval, is what needs to be approved.
Okay, so just forget the other one, right?
Yes.
I had a question about that, 'cause I didn't understand it. I don't have to.
That was, that was for Robin Stevens.
Oh, did you take that out?
Still on there.
Is that what you did?
That's
Okay.
not on there.
That's what you're in.
That's my question. I didn't
Revised and
understand.
sent to
Okay,
you.
here, the form, because she's still that on that.
Excuse myself from.
She's still working.
Lori,
on
good.
it.
Yes.
It didn't really need to do that, but
Right.
just understand.
Did you take care of the line?
It's just a transfer position.
Is there any other questions? I make a motion that we approve the transfer of professional personnel and note that Carol Smith will recuse herself during the vote.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. All right, and I make a motion that we approve all other personnel items.
I'll second.
Motion's on the floor. Is there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, board concerns.
I wonder, on the levy rates, we got that information, and it seems like we sort of, there's a change in tax base, a change in tax revenue, a change in levy revenue this year. Do you know what exactly caused that? Do you have any idea why this went down?
Yeah, I put there should be a little thing in here about notes, just little notes I thought you guys might want to hear about on the property taxes.
Yes.
Yeah, I read
Notes for
that.
property taxes.
Yeah, I read that.
Okay, so what's going on is there's a statewide reassessment of the minerals, gas, coal, and all that. And this year, it went down 33%. For Lincoln County, that was $72 million. And that's the Class 3 personal property taxes. And next year, it will go down another 33%. The following year, it's going to go down another 16%. So, you know, we've had quite a bit of money here for the past several years. That's because these minerals have really been producing a lot of extra income for us. So now that's going to, you know, I guess there was probably some lawsuits filed, and that's going to be backing off, going back down. Now, the net decrease in our taxable base for Lincoln County was a decrease of $56 million. So what that means to us is our local tax collections goes into the formula, but we only get to keep 10% of our local tax collections. So on that decrease, it's going to hit us $40,000, okay? Then where it's really going to hurt us is in our excess levy, because when we run our levy, the levy is set for a certain amount, like, you know, 1.3 or, you know, whatever the levy calls equal out to. Then anything that's extra, we can put it into these places that we need some extra money. And last year, we had probably $800,000 extra, and it's going to go down. We're going to lose $493,000 in the extra excess levy money. But we will still have extra. If you look at item 7 there, we're still going to have $447,000 more than the levy calls. And just kind of a little bits and pieces that I thought you might need to know.
And that's going to continue to go down.
It's going to go down next year. We'll take another hit. So it'll pretty much wipe out the 447 next year. If it's a 33% hit again. And then the next year, we will probably just break even on our levy calls and maybe a little bit short. And we have been short on the last levy, the very first year out, we were short. So, you know, sometimes you get some surplus and occasionally you'll run short for the first year or so, but we've been very fortunate in the past several years with all this extra money.
So, I mean, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Gas, the oil and gas, but I didn't know how it was going to affect us. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I knew that it was going to go
So
down,
Lincoln
but I didn't know
County-
really how much it would go down.
You know, $72 million that hit us.
It's on all mineral rights or mineral rights in production? Do you know?
You know, Don, I'm not real sure on the particulars. I just know that it hit us in the Class 3 property taxes is where we took our hit.
Legislature passed that, right? Was
It is
an act
a
of the
statewide,
legislature?
it's a statewide, so I'm sure it had to come from the legislature, so they have had to decrease those rates.
Thank you.
Got a real quick thing, it's not on here. Bandwidth at the high school. We have to do something about that.
I can give you a little
I
information.
said, we're doing the writing assessment. I mean, everybody through the state's doing the writing assessment, and everybody has to be on the computers, and it just really,
We got a phone call, how I know about it, can answer it.
Go ahead.
We were having a meeting and had a phone call, and Danny left the room. And the bandwidth in this case is not us at the high school, it is the state. I guess with all the different people coming online, they were not ready for that at the state level. And that, the information could not get to them. So it wasn't our local bandwidth. We have put in recently, I guess in the last year, 2 T1 lines were called, and each of those have given us 1.5 megs. And what Danny is hoping, and this has been ongoing, I'll give you a brief idea. 2 years ago, I think, we started having a grant, we were writing a grant, and we were all excited because we were going to get 100 megs into the high school. And because of Verizon, and again, don't want to be to be exact on this, or questions to what I'm saying here for the audience. Verizon was getting a monopoly over the state because the State Department was giving it to them. CityNet came in and sued the state, and that created, everybody just stopped. They couldn't move. And so this has been ongoing. But the relief is, Danny says that all indications, July 1, we're supposed to get 100 megs into the high school.
when is this?
July 1. By July 1 of this summer.
We'll have 100 megs.
Well, 100 megs coming into the county, that comes into the high school, then it'll be distributed out to all the schools.
But it's going to come to the high school first.
Yes, and they're going to have 30 megs. And Danny says it's literally impossible right now that 30 megs could ever be used with what we know today. But minimum we need over there is 10 megs, and right now we have 6. So there are issues, but
Right.
since we've gone to 6, we have not ran into the problems. We thought we ran into them today, Mr. Linville did, but it wasn't us. It has everything to do with the state.
Good deal.
But
That's big.
but it's coming in for us, so relief is here for our technology. And I want to say, if I may say, a plus for the money that we're getting to Danny is we're like night and day between where we were with technology, the teachers using technology, the staff development on technology is unbelievable. It is far superior than I could have ever imagined happening in a short time. And I give all the credit to our teachers for, taking a leap forward on the technology and all the stuff that Danny has done in the staff development and all those people involved with Danny, because we have some great people now working for us. But I'm really pleased, the curriculum team is pleased, when we do walkthroughs, you would be very proud to see how it's being used. Not just outside, we're going to do this piece now, but with the curriculum, with the teaching. And the students are really coming along. And there's 1 or 2 schools without we call them TISs, and we are working for next year to have those schools because it's a big difference between those that have them and those that don't.
Yes, it's very important. I mean, if you're using technology and you're streaming a video, you're streaming video to the internet, you have to make sure that you have the bandwidth or you're not even going to work.
Right.
You can't even watch it. So that's why I was bringing it up, because that was an issue. Somebody brought that to me today, and I was just like, well, I know that Danny's been working on that since the beginning of the year.
Yes.
So it's good. That's good. Why don't you print that in the paper?
I will. That's what I do.
But you may call Danny for clarification because I'm not adequate
That's big.
compared to him to
It's
speak
big.
on it.
That's good for the teachers to know. Go ahead, policy work session. I think it's you.
Well, no, I want to mention something else. we received this information, I think you sent it out, or someone did, about the Healthier US School Challenge.
Yes.
I'd be interested in having someone come and present that here, or do something, since all of our schools were awarded, you know, the gold medal, the gold award. I just think that's important.
She would be thrilled, and I would be thrilled to
Nutrition-wise
do
and
it.
everything.
And the paper could
Yeah,
also,
Sounds good idea.
and the parents could understand what was going on, so.
Good publicity.
yes.
It
Thank you.
wouldn't- It wouldn't hurt.
We will do that. And on policy work session, I just need dates. And if you could give me just a few, because I need to get all my people here, and that means my entire cabinet, try to be here the same day. So if you had a few dates to give Brenda or to me,
Now, are all these policies online? We can access them now and read them?
yes, plus administrative guidelines and forms, or forms and guidelines also. They're all on there. And also, speak on another policy, just the bullying policy is on there now.
Is all the
Also-
changes on?
The new
changes.
Everything's on there,
New policy.
and not that you all can't add things, because that's a purpose, before we send it out, that you might want to add something, is your reviews first, then it goes out for public comment. And my goal is that this is done before I leave. That's all I ask you. Let me get this done, so you all be happy and I'll be thrilled. It's like the sign. I'm gonna do that before I leave, and I feel accomplished.
There was a gripe about that last week, I think.
It's-
Gripe one.
Do you all know how to access our Lincoln
I
County
want you to
Schools
tell.
website
It's
so
ready
you
to-
can look at it?
Tell us again.
Just go. Let me tell you, just go to Google, type in Lincoln County Schools in West Virginia.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there it is.
Time.
There it is. Just click on the first link.
So we're gonna have to read all this. This ain't gonna take us
Yeah, this
days.
yeah.
So, we're not gonna rush home and read it all in 2
Why
hours.
don't- why don't we,
So,
how about April 1st?
It's under informational items when you go to the homepage.
okay.
It's a Friday.
It go down.
What date, Mr. Manning?
I was just saying if April 1st is.
And I was looking for a couple dates, so we can, so I can make sure the cabinet's here, because they're trying to get here, and there's meetings and conferences they go to,
Yeah,
but
if you just give us a few to choose.
just a
from.
few to choose.
April the 5th.
And when do we have a regular meeting?
When did that,
Four.
on the 5th is a Parks court case, that last
Yeah.
court case. Well, I think we're good then.
You wanna, we could do it in the evening time.
Well, I think the cabinet would probably rather do it in the daytime.
If we
If we
could,
can.
because they're gonna be hanging out here together.
Well, it's gonna take
Plus
all
it
the
may take
time.
time.
It may take more.
It may take one day, and I can bring in pizza for the board.
April the 6th. I'm just throwing dates out.
Oh.
Anybody?
If
If
you-
you snag them on?
If you have conflicts, we just,
Okay, April 7th.
7th's possible.
7th's on a Thursday, it's on a Thursday, the 7th is on a Thursday.
Are any of these dates not good for any of you all that he's been calling off?
First is okay.
April the 1st is okay.
The only
So
date
far.
that's not good for me is April the 18th, so we're.
April
7th's
3rd.
okay. Yeah, no,
Dana
that's
is
your stuff.
having an auction on the first.
That's why it's a good time to look at your
Dana
policy.
is,
Mr. Rhodes, Dana's having that auction on the first, and he probably won't be available.
well, I might let one go out of that cabinet, because I'm having trouble getting them to
I think
get
we
here
have,
together.
it took me our state development council.
How about the 8th?
First,
Okay,
we need to mark off the first.
The 8th?
8th is okay.
Mark off the first.
Mark off the 1st and let's go with the 8th.
April 1st.
That's a Friday.
And 7th, right?
Is April 7th still good?
Are we, is this gonna be multiple sessions?
No, just, we're gonna try to get one, but that gives me a little flexibility. with my
7th and 8th is fine.
7th or 8th, is that what we're
7th
gonna
or
do?
8th,
Not the 5th or 6th,
not the 5th or 6th.
7 or 8.
7 or 8.
And you'll just let us know now
Yes.
it's time to get us.
How about you, Fred?
Well, it's gonna start
whichever day we pick is, I'd like to start like at 8:15.
Well, I don't mean that, I mean, just so that we'll know when it's gonna be, because it takes a couple of days.
What we plan to do is, you won't get online and look at it anytime, but
Just joking.
we're planning on having copies here for you to look at that day.
But like Donna said, the last time, it took me
I'd like to
a
have a
couple of
copy
days to
before.
go through them all.
You can.
Can I get a copy before?
Yes.
Because it's so much
If
easier
y'all
to
want
read
a copy
than for me to read
before, let
it.
us know.
That would be even better.
And then I can take notes right on the paper rather than.
Now, we're talking a stack of papers that's that thick.
How about you?
Well, but
Yes.
it's better than having.
We're gonna get
to
them
screen.
anyway, might as well get
If
them.
you wanna get them that day, why not get them?
I wanna read mine online.
Yours would be different.
Well, it's just easy.
I know.
mean, it saves.
I know it's easier for me to make
Online, but if we're
notes.
gonna get
You
them.
don't have to worry about recycling the paper.
Well, if we're gonna make them anyway,
Yeah.
I'll read it.
And then we can make notes right on the paper.
And you're gonna get pizza. You're gonna
Yeah,
get
I mean, that'll be a wonderful day.
so
Sean, what kind of pizza?
we will have these.
Clay,
I mean,
Days.
I'll get you some way of
Yeah.
specific pizza for you.
I made
As
on
soon as
10
we
that
can
day.
do it.
I
I
mean,
can't,
so
You're
so.
welcome.
Policy, so
It'll be
so.
very exciting, Sean.
Was last week.
at least
Well,
the
that-
way, yeah.
Well, if you'll just say that.
The other thing I would like, and this is a request kind of for the folks, they don't know the policies inside out. You know what I mean? Like it's a state law. So if you all read them and you take down questions, if there's any way you could call Brenda and forward those to Brenda so I can distribute to the correct person. If you know the policy number, you know, we can give it to the right person that will address that. But it'd make it easy for us if you could. And that way they can be prepared and go a lot quicker instead of running in and then have to leave again.
Right.
So thank you all for that in advance. So that's all I had on the work session, just those dates.
Anybody?
I just want to, on the school calendar, where are we on that?
We're meeting in the morning on the school calendar. We've been working with RISA, and we had a discussion at the last RISA meeting, and not everybody's on the same page. So we're going to go ahead and advance what we want to do for our county and do the best we can to match up with the other counties. Because of families teaching in one county, kids going to another one, we're trying to have spring break at least the same for the other counties. That may be all we can accomplish because Christmas is about the same for everybody. And then Thanksgiving week, that's different. And we're not even trying to go there to what other counties are doing. So the starting date is planning to be around April or August 8th or 9th. And then the first semester will be over.
That's what I was trying to get rid of. So we're planning on starting early next year.
Yes. And again, the recommendation is so high school is finished with, well, they gave us that option. Remember the legislature gave us the option to go do that. So we can finish high school, first semester is over prior to Christmas. And now it's very difficult, and you might speak to that, how they go home and then have to come back and
Yeah.
try to.
I was just.
Well, sports is about the same.
Won't be that much different.
Won't be that much different because they start practice August the 1st, and they'll just have some schooling and practice after school.
Not as many
I would-
two-a-days.
I would like to see us at least get maybe 2 or 3 calendars and put them out and let the teachers know. Let the teachers find out, you know, what suits them. I mean, we have a pile of personnel, and I don't see how that would that be difficult to do?
No. That's a plan,
Well, I think.
but
that
we
would
were
be-
trying to keep the starting date at that time. If you're talking about giving 2 or 3 different starting dates.
Well, I mean, you know.
And again, the only thing I'm looking at that starting date, my only reason, and if the board chooses to give the teachers and our service people that option, is fine. It was just for the high school students so they could finish first semester prior to Christmas. There's no other reason that I have to suggest that we do that. And if you, and the board has that choice, but either you all take it or you all can let the teachers and service people take it.
Could we let, I mean, I think it would be a pretty good idea to let, you know, whenever they have a faculty senate, let them hash it out a little bit, see if they can come up with something that would be,
Well, in the past,
Okay,
haven't they always had the option to submit a calendar
Right.
that they're?
that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, I agree with you in giving everybody the choice here, but the reason I brought it up is so that if indeed we do start early, you know, parents have to make plans. You know, we got people who are already planning next year's vacation and all this kind of stuff. You know how difficult we began, you know, used to be we started after Labor Day, then we kind of infringed, and I'm not in any way saying we shouldn't do this, because I like the idea of finish early, but we need to let everybody know if we go that way. But
Well, I mean, that's where I'm hitting. You know, you have people who've already scheduled vacations. And most of the time, a lot of people will take vacations in August, you know, like right at the beginning of
What
August.
about teachers taking classes, what are the Marshall's classes?
And that's
That's been
something else.
discussed, and somebody said something to that effect, I don't know.
I mean, I have no idea when you're supposed to be.
It's so different now because universities have their classes online so much now.
Some of them are 3 weeks long.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Some of them
not
never meet.
traditional.
Some never meet. That's true. Some do.
So am I hearing, let me ask you this, just so I don't know, the board themselves would like the options to have different starting times,
Yes.
meaning like August the 8th. There is one that they could start even earlier, August the 1st. And there's some that we can go traditional starting times, like, you know, and this is all for teachers' first day. It'd be like the 16th or 17th, somewhere in there. I can give different ones, and then we can put the rationale why we think this is better. You know, for like the high school.
Why don't we do that? Make it just like this is what, you know.
The
we wanna
advantages
start,
for
you know,
this and
an
advantages
early,
for
starting
that.
on maybe August the 1st, starting August the 8th, starting August the 15th, label the advantages, disadvantages, and pass them on. And then everybody look at them, and then if they want to make changes during faculty senate or whatever, say, hey, listen, maybe we can do this better. Because when you get a bunch of people together, they can collaborate.
And then each faculty senate submit a calendar.
There you go.
If they
The
would.
individuals,
That's
because you
it.
may get money from, you know, you can't.
That's right.
can't manage that.
Let the faculty senate vote on it. So
if indeed they want to. Okay, let's assume though that half a dozen are submitted. Is it then possible, are we going to go out and say, do they get to vote on these?
If they submit them as and I'm hearing you all make these suggestions, so if I follow.
I'm asking questions.
Right, well, if that's the case and there's that many calendars, then we, as long as they're legal, meaning they fit the guidelines, and we have to send the guidelines out to them because there's a lot of things you can't do, you know. And they submit these back and they're okay, then I would see that I have no other alternative but to submit 9 calendars out there to vote on. You all usually do not get a choice in the matter until the votes come back, then you have to accept it or reject it. You're not in the process. A lot of times administration, they have a kind of like a consensus to come up with some varied calendars, and then they make sure the guidelines there and send 2 or 3 out. But I don't mind sending 9 out.
No, I don't, I just make 6 up.
You know?
I actually, because many times I think what happens is some people, if they don't adhere to all those, you know, the legal requirements, that they're not valid. So I think that cuts a lot of them out of the way.
It's difficult to make a legal calendar.
If you guys, in your office, if you were able to narrow that down to maybe 3 or something, then that would.
You mean I could ask for suggested calendars and then try to give a sample of this one, and this one, where it kind of cuts across
Well, I think
all
that would be a very early one, a early
Right,
start date, and
that's
one
right.
more traditional.
Right.
Yeah, I think suggestions from,
And the other-
suggestions from our professional personnel.
Right, and I don't mind that,
I
I'm
think
just trying to
that's
say that the process could be lengthy, because then what we usually do is there's the Thanksgiving, sometimes you can get a week in, and sometimes you can't. If you get a week here, you may lose something over here, and then they need to vote on those different So,
There's always a give and a take.
yeah.
That's the way it always works.
My only problem is trying to get it down to 2 or 3, having several to choose from.
I think, I mean, August the 1st, August the 8th, August 15th,
That's what I was thinking.
working it around a little bit.
Okay.
But I mean, if there's like a big, I'm sure that there'll be, that they probably should have a choice, to look at and see which ones that they would like to vote for.
Well,
Just like
that's
with-
why
yeah.
Mr. Roach just come up with 2 or 3 and send it out to Pakistani, let them pick and vote on it,
Right.
send it back to us.
And if-
Which
yeah.
one wins, that's it.
And if there's something maybe that they see that, hey, maybe we need to change this or something like that, maybe this would be good, just send a letter back. I mean,
I could work,
we're all
I could
professionals.
work through the faculty senate who condense, but we also need to bring in the service folks somehow. I don't have representation, but I guess I could meet with certain groups.
Yeah. I think it would.
But anyway, long story short, we're trying to get Logan's here and looks at that, look at theirs. We have only 2 completed. That's Logan's and Cabell's of the leases.
Can you share with us, are they starting early? Do they intend to start early?
Cabell is, Logan's not.
Starting early, you mean?
I
August
think,
the 8th.
yes, sir, for Cabell, Logan's not starting early.
Or traditional?
Yes, sir.
Mid-August?
Yes, more like we've done in the past, or a few days vary. Okay, we'll continue that in the morning then. and work.
And we need to, maybe some mock schedules for year-round school. You want to talk about, remember we were talking about year-round school calendars?
Yes,
Yeah.
but that may come a little later after the calendar.
Well, I know, but I mean, I think it's something that, whenever you're looking at starting, just like if you're looking at starting on August the 1st, I mean, I think that's something you need to take into consideration. I mean, look at your summer. Look how your summer has moved down and the things that are year-round school, just that type of calendar to provide for you.
The traditional calendar is going by the wayside.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything else as far as board comments and concerns?
Except we're going to executive session.
We need to meet in executive session. Okay.
And this is going to executive session regarding Hutch property.
I'll second.
All those in favor to go into executive session regarding Hart's property? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it.